professor for a game, so that's what really got me into Battle Royale before. So basically, I started playing this closed alpha game before I played any Battle Royale. And I just fell in love, so I wound up getting H1, fell in love with that, and then I wound up going to PUBG. And have grinded PUBG more, so I put more hours into PUBG than I have any other game right now, recently. But when I'm just feeling like not in the mood to play, like, say, a shooter or whatnot, I'll downgrade to, like, say, a sandbox game like Minecraft and just, like, mellow out and play some, like, survival or some, like, mini games from, like, one of the servers on Minecraft and whatnot, just to ease the tension of shooters and whatnot, because shooters can be stressful if stuff, you just completely messed yourself over.
Yeah, I'd say especially tense sometimes in some of your games there that you have. You have a lot of pinch moments. There's generally a lot of salt that follows.
A lot of times I potato it. So.
But I think it's a it's not a bitter salt. It's not that bad. It's a good, friendly, entertaining, fun type of salt. I enjoy it. I think it's a great time. Now, I asked a few of the other gamers some of the weapons that they use. You're pretty much following suit with them. You kind of stick with the rifles. I'll probably just skip right to it and just ask if you ever use the shotty.
I use the pump action, but the times I use the shotgun is in the early stages of the game. If I'm like running through a field, if I don't find like a AR or a sniper, I'll run an AR and shotgun or whatnot. You'll never really catch me running a pistol, because pistols just have god awful accuracy, in my opinion, and I literally could shoot point blank and still miss the broadside of a head. Ooh, that was a sniper.
Now, see, we're watching you right now. Playing the rooftops seems to be an advantage at points when everything is getting close to the end of the match, when the game zone is actually narrowing down. What do you normally do? Where do you go to when your game zone's shrinking? Is it like cars? Do you like seek out, say, apartment buildings, homes? Do you get into a car and start driving around? What's your go-to thing?
If I could find a car, and so if it's a big zone, like the first starting out zone, which is usually a massive zone, if I'm able to get a car, I usually run. I'll usually drive into the zone somewhere like a compound or whatnot. There we go.
So where are you currently headed right at the moment then in your game?
Right now I'm actually running because the car that I did have got exploded by red zone. So basically the cars basically are advantage more protection, but the smaller the zone is, the more of a target you are in a car. So like say 3 zones in, I start running the zones mainly, but I have run full zones.
Right.
And I just died.
No, I've seen some. Yeah, I've seen players use those vehicles to their advantage in a sense. It can be a problem, but a lot of the times I see them usually scavenging for monuments out on the land, somewhere that they can kind of huddle up against, like a few rocks, a tall hill, maybe a grouping of trees out in the middle of, say, a field, and they can kind of pick at the player, and if they can't get to him there, a couple of them can, say, take off and leave one in that same position and then kind of flank them. When you're playing alone, it's probably not the right option. Like you said, it kind of brings you out and singles you out in the open there.
Well, in small zones, like say you're getting to the last 3 zones before you really have, like you're in the top 10. You're not going to want to be in a car in those kind of small zones with the top 10, because a lot of time, most of the time they camp. They'll be sitting in a field, and if you say just move at the wrong angle, they could easily just destroy you. But in a solos match, a car can be an advantage if it is parked. You can use it as a shield. The only thing you gotta be careful of if they start lighting the car up, you gotta watch it for when it starts to smoke and then really get out of there, because the more they light it up, it'll explode, which could really ruin your day.
Yeah, I could see that ruining your day fairly quick. Okay, so now
with that being said, yep, go on.
Okay, now outside of that, normally I get kind of curious as to your weapons of choice. A lot like any other gamer, they'll probably carry 2 weapons at a time. What are your choices?
My choices is either an M16, M4, or AKM for the assault rifle. If I could get a sniper, that's great. I'll run a sniper as well. So I'll run either a Mini 14, Car 98.
Now, why do you pick the M16? Do you pick that because of the firing rate or the damage?
So the M16, it's a burst and a single shot gun only, but the M4 and M16 have, for say long distance shooting, they have more reliability with the higher damage before the fall off.
Okay. And then what was the type of sniper rifle that you run with?
I'm dead because I couldn't get a pistol. This guy dropped with me. So the way it works is I usually just float it by ear. If I could get SMG, I'll run that for a while. The UMP9 has actually saved my life, as well as the mini Uzi, or micro Uzi is just called in this one. So that being said, there is a lot of benefits for me.
Now, who's that was in the room with you? Is that a friend of yours?
What's up?
Oh, nothing. I was just curious if that was someone that you were playing with. It's apparent that it wasn't.
Oh, no. I got completely destroyed. He wound up getting a fully automatic pistol. I had no chance. I punched him a few times. But, so I'll either get a Uzi or a shotgun or whatnot if that's the only thing in the building at the time that I decide to go into. For ARs, I'll run either AKM, M16, or M4. The main ARs actually are those. The only ARs really, except the ones that you get from a supply drop, or care pack. But usually I run your Car 98 or a Mini 14 now for sniper.
No, the Mini 14s are pretty nice. I'm kind of liking those guns. Those are kind of nice.
The Mini 14 has its downfalls. When you're going against someone, say, with a level 3 helmet, the Mini 14 is a 3-shot just to knock the helmet. So instead of being at like a 1-shot to the head, like, or a 2-shot like SKS, which is also a nerf sniper, it's not as reliable against level 3. But the recoil is what the benefit I find in it, because it's less recoil than SKS and less bounce. So you're able to hold accuracy more, and shoot quicker with it without having to worry about recoil and stuff like that.
Okay, now that's something that I'm not familiar with. Is the
further gameplay in? I will run the Mini 14 even sometimes as an assault rifle.
Now that the armor rating, what's the max armor rating you have on a helmet?
So there's level 3 vest, level 3 backpack, level 3 helmet. And the level 3 vest and backpack, the helmet, basically, it's the best quality you could get. It's $250 for the body armor, so and I think it's like 300 or 200 something for the helmet. But with that being said, you're able to take a lot of shots with those from further distance.
Okay. Now, is the rest of your gear the same way? You say your shirts or I see you guys picking up vests here and there.
You could customize your shirts by getting crates. As you can see, I have battle points here, 7,450. You
Okay.
can buy crates and whatnot and get special stuff out of them. But the drops are not really likely to happen like that. But for my my personal experience, honestly, if I could just run no clothes, no nothing, I would, because that's how I would be in real life.
Just going commando, baby. Now, okay, so now if you've got your armor sets and you've got that kind of limit on ratings, and it's really just a luck in finding it. Are there patterns to where these items spawn, like the same way everybody else spawns in the world? I mean, there's like given locations. It may be a random thing, but it's still, say out of these 10 or 15 locations that it's going to spawn.
So I could literally spawn at the same complex like 5 games in a row and get jack. I could literally get nothing. I could get like just a pistol. Or like I could literally have it like one game I get the best loot in the whole entire game for first starting out loadout, AKM, fully automatic with the sniper. Right there with the 8x scope for the sniper, hollow red dot for the AKM or assault rifle, fully automatic. Right there, I'm able to spray down and snipe people from long range right off the bat.
Nice.
But I can literally go say the next game. I die off that game. I go to the same complex. I can literally just get a pistol, or I could get nothing. There could be nothing at the complex except maybe a car. So it's very luck of draw. I've actually had games where I spawned in, and one building I went into hoping to find a gun because there's a guy next to me. I literally got destroyed because he got the house with the gun. I got the house with basically a helmet.
Okay. Kitty has a question for you. Kitty Stinky. She says, do you think this game will ever truly be competitive?
It's actually a competitive game. If you followed the PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds a few weeks ago during when they had the Gamescom crates, they actually had their first ever tournament. There are esports for esports teams for PlayerUnknown. So if you're good enough and you could show your quality and they recognize you and get to know you more, then yes, there will be a lot into it. I think this game has potential, but I mean, it's gonna have to see. It's gonna really change up how people play, like how they've added the fog, how they've added the rain additions and whatnot. So it's gonna be interesting how those play out, since those are newer compared to the competitive a few weeks ago at Gamescom. So that being said, there's going to be a lot of changes being made, and plus, in a few weeks' time, when they do their next big update, they're adding a few maps, and apparently, rumor has it they're adding a zombie edition as well. So basically, you'll be fighting for your life for last man, but you'll also have zombies running around.
Yeah, I think that idea is kind of neat, but at the same time, I feel like zombies in any game is really like a last-ditch effort to make a game anything.
I think it's a little cliche.
I agree. But considering that they've got all this stuff going for them, they still do have tournaments going on. They're still getting into TwitchCons and special events to run certain teams run the ranks, run the games, and end up playing in the tournaments, just like they would say with H1Z1. Although that game is much larger and draws a much larger crowd, But Fortnite is actually making a move to do kind of the same thing, like you were talking about earlier. We were discussing the Battle Royale that they're going to be releasing here in the next couple of days. How do you feel that'll affect Fortnite?
Um, well, in my opinion, there are two different aspects. Fortnite, you're able, even in the battle royale, you're able to build like in the actual game. So you could build yourself like a little complex and whatnot when you're in the finals. So it gives a different aspect to the game itself. But that being said, PUBG is straight drop down, get guns, and hope for the best. Fortnite is almost the exact same, but there is speculation that that Fortnite BR is actually use some sort of PUBG software or coding to copy it from somehow or whatnot. I don't know how true it is or whatnot, but that being said, though, Fortnite is its own game in my opinion because you can't build in a BR. There's no building in any BR out there right now. And Fortnite, you're able to build like walls and whatnot, put traps down, etc., and like that. So
Right, but the
and
reason
break
I
down
asked about
building.
Fortnite is a lot in the same way we were talking about PUBG. PUBG is essentially what Fortnite is trying to adhere to. They're trying to bring that into their game. At the same time, PUBG is trying to put zombies into their game, which Fortnite already has. Uh, it's again, I think a last ditch effort in a game to make a standing to show something, and it also might just be a way to open it up to more people who like that type of game. I know there are a lot of people out there who do enjoy the hell out of playing zombies on any game, most specifically things like COD.
Yeah,
You're one of those people who enjoys the zombies.
I enjoy anything with guns.
Right, exactly. See, and that's my point. It's just, yeah, if you get tired of playing, say, just this battle royale version, you'll have that option, and I can see that being beneficial to the game. But I still kind of side with where I'm at with my decision as far as it being kind of a last ditch effort. We'll see where it goes, though. If they pay enough attention to the other parts of the game they wish to employ, if they stay with it, I think they have a chance of being competitive, like Kitty was asking. But we'll see. Now, let's get away from that and kind of talk about Minecraft maybe a bit.
Yeah, sure.
Now, I really don't know where to start, but I guess when you start playing Minecraft, are you into it just for, say, the standard Minecraft adventure that they've laid out, where you go through the game, you go to the Nether, then you get out of there, and then you go to kill the dragon, and
I'm
game's
in
over? Do you go techie and you
Minecraft.
build machines, or do you just get creative?
So I'm in Minecraft for so many years now. I've actually been a part of the Minecraft community for probably since 2010. So over around 7 years, maybe 8 now, going on. So that being said, I've always enjoyed the vanilla aspect, but when they came out with the way you play it with mod packs and whatnot, it was interesting at first, and now that there's so many options with mod packs, it's interesting to see how how they alter the game. So I'm in it for whatever betters the game. I think Minecraft should have added a few things themselves without having to be a mod pack.
Like what things?
Oh my god. Why was there so many people there?
There's always so many people there. It's the only town around. Now when you're going for mod packs, let's say your basic three, your kind of trinity of packs that you kind of need to have, or sorry, not
So
packs,
my
mods.
basic so my basic mods, if I was to do a mod pack, my first three would be a map. Probably more items, so like that would be able to show recipes and whatnot.
So
And so
NEI?
forth in that aspect. And probably Tinker's Construct, because it just adds that extra feel to the game where you could get more stuff. You could make hammers that dig 3x3 instead of 1x1.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think that's kind of my basic three as well. I don't believe I go with anything else. I may go with MechWorks every once in a great while. Have you ever tried anything like Greg Tech?
No. So I've always usually just gone with mod packs and whatnot. But I mean, after watching another MPXR member, Bebop Brit, actually go for 11 hours making a hammer, I just was like, what the hell kind of mod pack do you choose for yourself, dude? And the
Yeah,
fact
but
that
that
he
was some
actually
hammer,
stuck
right?
it out, I would have literally just been like, yeah, no, I'm deleting this thing. I'm not playing it ever again, etc., etc.
No, I think the moment that I remember him, it was I think he was trying to get to the moon that day. Is that correct?
No, he was just trying to make a hammer that could dig 3x3 because he was just tired of digging 1x1, and he was playing Age Engineering, the mod pack, and it just wound up being so much intricacy. How he had to just keep making these things to compress stuff, to do all this stuff. I would have been like, yeah, just get me out of this mod pack already.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Oh
would
man.
never have the patience to go 11 hours just to make one item.
But that was the last time he had to make that item. All he has to do is refurbish it from then on, right? See, you know what I mean? So it was kind of worth the effort instead of consistently remaking a new tool. I mean, I can't imagine the amount of time you would waste doing that. I know, Riley's wing. That's the best shit ever. And he's got it hanging over his bed or some crap, or next to it now.
Oh, my the sword or whatnot? Or
Bebop's got that hammer hanging over his bed, and it's called Riley's wing.
Oh yeah. That's honestly the best name I've ever heard for a tool. But overall, I mean, and there's another thing I want to say out there for if there's new streamers or people who are wanting to start out streaming, and play a game that you enjoy. If you enjoy shooters, play shooters. If you enjoy sandbox like Minecraft, for instance, play that. I mean, the reason I play Minecraft when I do is because I get, just as worn out of playing the same game so many times.
Right, you got to play what you enjoy when you enjoy it, right?
Yeah, and you have to have fun with it. You can't just not. You can't play a game and not have fun, because then your community and crowd is not gonna have fun. So if you're not enjoying what you're doing, don't play it. Just get rid of the game. If you bought the game, sell it back, because you're not gonna enjoy it. Get that money back.
Like Call of Duty.
You're never gonna play again because you don't enjoy it.
Oh.
Is what I would say.
You can't just sit there and force yourself to do something like that.
No.
I wouldn't do it. I don't see any reason for anyone that have ever done that. But I don't believe people that would actually sit down and legitimately force themselves to play something that they absolutely hate, unless it was something that the community was actually asking for, to be kind of trolly but to have fun together. For a moment, I could see that being all right, but playing that for hours on end would not be healthy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you on the game types.
You're not gonna enjoy the game, don't play it. Like, you shouldn't play something you're not gonna have any enjoyment out of.
No, and there's so many varieties of games out there. There's tons of different FPS games with all kinds of options. There's tons of MOBAs. There's tons of other MMOs out there that aren't just FPS. There's a lot of adventure puzzle games. There's a lot of creative games. There's a lot of free-to-play games. There's a lot of community games like the ones Queen Dini does. It's just I think there's a lot of opportunity out there for a lot of people, and I think it would be wise of them just to stick with what it is they enjoy.
So, just to clear something, Riley's in your stream, right now? I just killed someone with the name Wang in
Yeah, saw it.
it. I just wanted to point that out there for Riley, if she's in your stream right now.
Oh yeah, I don't know if Riley's in here. I just Kitty right now. Just Kitty and me.
But yeah, just have enjoyment, just be yourself, just have fun with what you do. That's the thing about being a content creator. You have to enjoy the content. You have to have fun with it. You have to be yourself. Yeah, there are streamers that in communities that just like to watch people get, especially big streamers, just rage. For instance, Dr. Disrespect, but that is his persona.
Yeah,
So
but
that
I
being
still
said,
don't ever get it. I don't understand it. I've heard a lot of people say that. I even heard one person word it as they enjoyed, what was it, the obnoxious streamer, and I can't disagree more. What's up, Dubs? How you doing, man? Thanks for coming over, bud. I appreciate it.
yeah, no doubt. That being said, I mean, I don't enjoy the obnoxious streamers. I enjoy people who are gonna have fun, who I know I'll be able to just sit there, relax, watch, and whatnot. There's another pet peeve I do have with some streamers, and that's calling out lurkers. Lurkers are there to be anonymous. They're there to just enjoy content, be there and whatnot. They help with views, but once you start calling them out, it's going to throw them away
Uh,
because they don't. Honestly, I've from a lurker who likes to lurk in streams sometimes. I don't like being called out,
See,
and I
right?
know a lot of people don't either.
No,
And because it's like you're just putting them out there when they're there to be basically invisible and just
correct.
watch your content, help with the view base.
Right. And see, like Katie said, she likes the people who can laugh at their own stupidity, and I'm on that level. I'm often very stupid, and if I couldn't have learned to laugh at that, it would be a very bad scenario. Swift, I think that's what I was telling you about earlier with your salt levels. I think your salt levels are very genuine, but very heartfelt, and oftentimes followed up with a hell of a lot of humor. And that's why I enjoy being at your stream, because you seem to keep that salt level, at a moderated level, and then you just if you can't keep doing what you're doing and enjoying it, then you'll switch up. Even Dubs. Dubs is a fellow streamer. He's not currently a member. I wish he would be, but we'll find out soon. He's played a lot of games. I've watched the guy, and he's a really great streamer too. Not toxic, not annoying. Just a really great fighting gamer. I probably couldn't have found anybody that was any better at the Flash on Injustice. That shit was amazing. But you all here in the community have that kind of attitude, and that's why I really like having you all here. I think it's a real great thing for everybody.
Yeah.
Kitty, that's very true. She said your salt levels are minimal compared to her.
Oh, she's also stinky, so.
Okay, now if we're gonna get back into it, let's kind of hop on over to like the H1Z1 convo. When you're running that game, do you run it the same way you do with PUBG? I mean, would that be fair?
No, so with PUBG, I close most of the time every door behind me to really outplay players. With H1Z1, I just get a gun, I get just loot and leave. I don't care for the doors. I don't care for really anything on that game. I will literally just go right in and start shooting people. I mean, yeah, I'll play tactical, but PUBG is so strategical because you have people that camp at compounds, that camp in fields and whatnot. With H1Z1, it's more run and gun and go all out. You're not gonna have just that one scenario.
Okay. Now, how do you think the gas cloud versus the kind of invisible barrier affects the gameplay?
So the gas cloud, I think, could use some work. H1Z1 is the older game compared to PUBG, a lot older. So that being said, they're so the way it works is I think H1Z1's gas cloud, in my opinion, lags me because how much particles and how much detail is into it, even on the lowest setting.
Right.
But other than that, I think I like the more force field kind of scenario, like PUBG, Islands of Nine, and whatnot. So that being said,
Now, the reason I
would
asked
probably
that
do
is I've seen a couple of players kind of getting on the tail end of that gas, and they're working their way out of it. The gas cloud stopped moving, okay, and they're getting closer to the edge, and they pop out, and there's a few people out there, and end up dying, or taking the advantage and killing them and winning, or getting clear of that scenario, which to me seems like a kind of unique disadvantage, all at the same time. Almost kind of to the point, I suppose it would be pointless, but it does at that point give you the chance for an advantage. Whereas the force field's just going to leave you open. I mean, people are just going to keep seeing you. You don't have an option to kind of hide in it. Do you use it at all like that?
So in certain scenarios, I do run the circle, the outer rim, because you can get advantages like that with catching people running outside the zone and whatnot. So it is this actual tactic. It's not just being like, oh, I'm gonna be here waiting for someone. No, it's actually a tactic where you run the circle and try to catch people who are already taking damage. I have done it because it also helps with narrowing down players and getting closer to the win.
Oh, absolutely.
And the more kills you get, the more points you have.
Okay. Now, are you gonna do you stick with staying out of vehicles in H1 as well, the same way you do here in pub?
No. So I will literally just drive around and with a cop car or whatever vehicle I could get, and actually just run around and battle people and stuff like that. It's actually a fun tactic like that. In H1, because H1 it's just very different compared to what PUBG is and how it plays out.
Now, when you're talking about how it plays out, are you just is it the overall gameplay, your hit markers, etc., the damage counts and etc.?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, basically.
Okay, so would you say H1's more intense, or would you say PUBG is more intense?
PUBG is more strategical. It's more thought out, more you have to do a lot more into it.
Okay, now would you say shot for shot it takes less to kill someone in PUBG?
You have to literally think where people are going to go. You have to, with H1Z1, you literally could just drive around and find people. With this, I mean, sometimes people blend in so precise that you can't see them.
Okay, so what's going on right now? Is it just bleed that you're taking on?
I'm actually in the zone, so I'm trying to outrun the zone, but it didn't work out. So now I'm just hoping to have 250 to get out zone and make my way across the bridge, which is going to be a not so fun scenario.
Okay, so Now, for someone who's never played this, what would be some advice you would give on this game?
Basically, if you're someone who's just starting out in the game, play safe. If you want to play aggressive, it's not going to go well. I usually play aggressive / safe. So if I know I'm being outnumbered in a zone or in a compound, I will literally play it out and bait people. But if I'm just trying to have fun and just go full in and whatnot, I will just literally go for kills.
Gotcha. Now, when you're bleeding, I'm guessing like you are right now, and you're low on health, etc. Where do you normally try to find a place to kind of heal up? I mean, I've seen Kitty. She'll just break down, say in the middle of a grassy field and just kind of lay down low and just start healing. And I've seen other people do that and kind of just really take it, and try and heal themselves and end up dying because of it. They'll have someone say, a few yards off and just be a real good shooter. Do you normally heal in the field, or do you wait till you get to a building or to a car or something?
Hold on. So I'll lay down in the field and heal up.
Okay. Now this place you're coming up on, are there people in there currently that you saw?
From?
Oh yeah.
Wait, there's 2 of them? There's 3 of them.
Get them.
I made a solo match. They're teaming. Oh. Reported.
Oh man. Did you get him? I couldn't see. The screen's so small on my side.
No, I got domed by a teaming group. I got rushed from the side when I'm trying to destroy another guy that went apparently inside the complex. What the fuck?
Son of a...
Okay.
That was a pretty nice little pinch.
Yeah, it was. I'm not gonna lie, but in solos, teaming's not allowed, so that is against the regulations, so you can report that, so.
Yeah. So, now, outside of, say, what would you call it? Your hit markers, like we were talking about earlier, versus, say, H1Z1, shot for shot, would you say that PUBG, you can take a player down with the same, say, weapon in-game or same type of weapon in-game with less shots in PUBG than you can in H1Z1?
Okay, in my opinion, H1 has been trying to work on it, but I still feel like their stuff is a lot more way over accurate than it should be. It's not really realistic in my opinion. PUBG has bullet drop off. It has what else? It has recoil. It has bounce. It has sway. So there's more to it. Literally with H1, you can literally 2-tap people. In PUBG, you can, but it's harder to do it as quick as you can with say
right
H1Z1.
Right, but you've got real life variables that they've installed on PUBG to make it realistic.
Yes.
I kind of like that. That's kind of nice. I suppose at the same time that can make that game kind of a pain in the ass for those who haven't I suppose used the weapons for very long. For a new player, that's going to be difficult.
Has grinded, say, H1Z1 like religiously since it became H1Z1 as its own game. It became and whatnot, because H1Z1 was originally it was just survive basically.
Yeah, H1Z1 was by far anything but a game at the point that it came out. I can't believe it got to where it's at, but yeah.
now they split it into like a battle royale. So that's one thing. Now they have H1Z1 Just Survive, which is the original H1Z1. That's how it originally became, and then I guess there was a mod or something that came out for it, and they just decided to break it off and make their own like battle royale. But so, and PUBG's never had that. PUBG literally came in to the development, and they've always stuck to one thing, which is battle royale. They didn't have a compound or a game where it was like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and it never. And they decide to split. No, it's always been that one thing for, I don't know, for a while now. So
yeah, well, they it was a good thing that they stuck with it
off
for the time that they did. If they
mean,
hadn't have done that, they would have just.
When Players Unknown originally, and holy hell, there's a lot of people that just dropped with me. When PUBG originally was showcased at one of the conventions, they did not have any textures, they did not have any graphics, they did not have anything. It was just raw buildings, raw graphics, raw everything. There was really no detail. I mean, what you see now in PUBG wasn't like this when they first revealed it in at their convention of revealing. So that being said, there is a lot more to it now.
What was missing from it when they showed it at the convention?
Basically, there was no detail into buildings. There was like with holes
So it was basic
in buildings, rooftops, like the warehouses and stuff. It was just basically checkerboard textures.
Okay, it was skins, textures, grains.
There was no really mountain tops. There was no there was so much detail missing from the game. I'm surprised it took off like it did back then, because that's where the game got its fan base. Is for some reason, with all that detail missing, it literally just took off. So that being said, I don't know what it was, because I didn't play it back then. I wasn't part of the alpha, beta, etc., etc.
Well, it was probably focused around the idea, like you were just discussing earlier, is that they've tried to put those real life variables into the game to let people experience that game with that aspect, and really, I think taking the graphics down a notch, just essentially making boxes with roofs on it, with that checkerboard pattern, I think simplifies the entire design and keeps everybody focused on what they wanted everybody to pay attention to, which I think was really their best aspect, which was their everything that they've put into their character, what you are going to do in the game. It has nothing to do with how the building looks or how a tree looks. It has everything to do with how your character moves, how your character runs, how you interact with the environment. That's important. And then same with the shooting. And I think that helped the player focus on that to really see what they were trying to do, which might have been an actually smart decision on the marketing side. I probably scary, but like you said, I imagine that's probably part of what made it happen for them, is having that loss of design, or that restricting that design.
Yeah.
Okay, now you got a couple of cooters up here on the right. Uh-oh. Get them. Oh, dear Lord. Was that the shotgun?
Yeah, it's a shotgun. It's a pump action.
I can just see Kitty Stinky right now shaking her head like, oh my God. Not a shotgun. Not a shotgun.
I potato that, but I got him, so.
GG, man. Hell yeah. I don't see anything really personally wrong with them when I'm in close quarters. But out in the field, man, that gets me scared.
Well, the only reason I kept potatoing is he kept running. It was weird. Like, why are you running like that? Like, his patterns just threw me off.
Yeah. Yeah.
And apparently I found out something interesting about crossbows is that they're a one-hit kill no matter if you can hit people, they're in the head especially, they're one hit no matter from what distance.
With a
In
bow
this
and an
game.
arrow, no matter what distance, it's a one-shot headshot.
Yep. You could literally one hit a fucking helmet. It's more powerful than a sniper, put it that way, apparently.
The hell sense does that make? That's
I don't know.
like
when I found that out, I was literally, because I was playing with my buddy yesterday who hit the sickest shot. I have to go back into the my recording from yesterday.
Oh, if you have a clip of that, that's a
the
clip
video.
worth keeping.
I have to go back into my video. He hit a sniper shot from all right, I'm gonna pull up my map. He was literally, we were on military base. We were on where yellow marker is now. Just wait for it to update on stream. And he hit someone all the way at the pier in a car driving, nonetheless, full throttle.
Holy smokes.
And we both started flipping out. Like, it was like he just took a random shot and wound up like getting blood splatter.
Okay, well, you find that video and you clip that and you send that to me. I want to see that shit. Send it in Discord or something.
I'm going to be clipping and downloading a lot of clips because in the near future, I'm going to reveal something I'm planning on doing. Is no matter who I'm playing with, if we have great clips or great gameplay shots and whatnot and highlights, and there's a dude on the mountain, on the building. God damn it.
You know, there goes planning for interviewing and playing at the same time, right?
But
it's all right, man.
It's so basically what I'm going to be doing is at the end of my streams when I do get my Adobe products back and whatnot. One, I'm gonna be saying I'm gonna be doing an outro video of best highlights.
Nice.
Best of. So, say I'm playing with Kitty in H1Z1 or Bebopper in H1 or Fortnite or PUBG and squads or whatnot. If those clips are like that sniper shot yesterday, that win yesterday that we got or whatnot, that's gonna be in the ending video, as well as a thank you to all the subscribers, the follows, well, mainly subscribers and cheers throughout time.
I think it'd be nice to see everybody kind of do a video like that for themselves. I've been doing my fair share of collecting clips as well, and I've been putting things together for quite some time. I need about 5 more minutes of it, and that's going to be another month or two. But we'll see.
Yeah.
I think it'll be worth it. It'll be a great video.
But, I mean, doing an outro video of, like, I actually saw it on a stream, and you're going to think I'm cliche. I'm a big fan of Terrorizer Gaming. He's a YouTuber, the Gaming Terrorizer. But I'm a fan of him being in everything, so with that being said, I literally was in his stream for probably about 2-3 hours, and then when he started ending his stream, he threw up this video and was like best highlights of PUBG,
right?
And all these other games like golf and whatnot. I'm like, that'd be a cool feature to add.
Absolutely.
Because it's personalizing people who you play with and getting them out there and showing their skills. But not just that, it's showing your best highlights of people you've played with and you.
Right. I see. What I enjoy about clips isn't just the best wow moments, but the best of all those different types of good moments where people are laughing and stuff, as well. Making ridiculous statements, and then something weird happening. All that great stuff, I think is absolutely worth keeping every time. Britt's definitely on top of that stuff. He likes to keep all that stuff clipped as much as possible. He makes that made known. I got you and your bicycle jump out of the tree for whatever reason. I don't know how the hell that happened, but for some reason you or someone else drove out the top of a tree on a motorcycle. I really don't understand it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I really don't understand it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I really don't understand it.
Oh, when he did the backflip.
Yeah, sir.
Okay, yeah. That was a buddy I was playing with. He somehow hit a small little bump in the hill line. Like it was literally a flat road with just a bump, and somehow he got all that air and just did a backflip. Actually, yesterday it was actually funny. I actually did a backflip and landed trying to run from someone.
Nice.
I literally just hit like a little ramp, I guess, on a hilltop and did a backflip running from someone on a motorbike.
There's so many odd glitches like that.
Ever since this latest update, actually, there's invisible walls apparently now. When you're going full throttle for an extended period of time and you're trying to go up a hilltop, you'll literally just get stopped dead in your tracks.
It's all nope. You're not going any further. Sorry.
Yeah, and then you have to back up and then redo it. It's like, come on. Like, I'm trying to outrun someone. Hello. But overall, man, PUBG, honestly, I've had the most fun with. Because there's just so much into it. You have to be very strategical.
I don't believe so,
You
Dubs.
have to really think and outplay people.
You have to send it to me.
And hope for the best, of course. Sadly, I didn't realize he was on the last game. I didn't realize he was on a third-story building, so that kind of screwed me over. Otherwise, I would probably had him easy.
Yep. Yeah.
Because most kills are easy in this game, honestly, if you could actually hit your shots.
Now, you were talking about that clip there when that guy shot you in the head, or your friend in the head with the arrow, one shot with a helmet on. He got killed. COD, I feel, is the same way with their hit markers. It bothers me so damn much. A lot of different games have these variety, this really odd set of what they figure any weapon should cause for damage. A lot of it seems fairly normal on your assault rifles, but where you have a pistol that's stronger than a bazooka or a grenade at someone's feet, to me, is just ridiculous. Now, I'm not saying that any of these games are that way, but do you notice anything like that? Anything that's outside of the arrow to the head? Obviously, that's a one-shot. Is there anything else like that that's kind of ridiculously overpowered?
Besides, I mean, not really. So what I was saying about the clip with my friend getting the crazy long shot, he was using a Car 98 with the 8x scope. It wasn't with the crossbow per se. But he got hit by a crossbow. I questioned him, like, how much damage is that crossbow doing? He's like, well, if you get your arrows, especially in anywhere from the chest up, it's a one-hit kill, no matter if you have level 3 or not. It literally will one-shot a level 3 helmet. I'm like, that makes no entirely sense that it outguns a sniper, because snipers are a lot better and do have higher caliber, in my opinion.
I couldn't agree more.
A crossbow is able to outgun a sniper is beyond me. Like, I would never have thought that.
Not a clue. It's something that I think is noticeable in those games.
Going on about my friend, his name is Densify, and he wanted to play some squads, so we were running squads last night, and then the guy that we were squatting with in a 3-man, he had to leave to go help his buddy, so we wound up actually leaving him behind and whatnot. So, but we get to where I put the marker on the yellow building, a yellow marker across the water, and he sees a car. The guy, I guess, didn't realize that he couldn't drive through the pier because the dude smacked the pier with the car. And then reversed it, like, uh-oh. And then next thing you know, my friend just decides, all right, I'm going to be gutsy. Shoots probably about 20 meters in front of him and winds up getting a fucking shot on him. I'm like, dude, the
Nice.
fact that you just hit that, we were both like, wait, did that just really happen? Kind of scenario. Like, it's
hey.
one of those things you don't see.
Right. You don't see it too often. It. Like I said, you can. It still happens often enough to where you can see it and you notice it, and then you see these other bugs like what you're talking about with these ridiculous shots that are absolutely overpowered, and it's just something that never gets fixed, and I'm not really certain why. I don't know if they do it to give them an advantage, but
yeah, I don't know what their reasoning is, so why. I don't see the reasoning for the zombies that they're rumored to be adding, because it's like, why add zombies to a battle royale? Like, Fortnite's battle royale mode has no zombies; it's just all-out warfare.
right.
So the fact that they're trying to add zombies, but they're also rumored to be adding a campaign.
An actual campaign mode
to PUBG eventually. I saw a post by the creator, and he would love to add a campaign to this. But I think that's after PUBG decided to start making their stuff.
I'll have to look that up. I've not heard of the campaign mode yet.
Yeah. It's not out. It's something he would like to add in the future if he was to. Because actually, fun fact, the design, I guess, or owner or whatnot, is actually someone that the H1Z1 team, Daybreak, actually brought on.
Okay.
And they didn't want to listen to his vision and what he wanted to do and how he wanted the game to run and how it play out and whatnot. So that's when PUBG came into account.
Right. Okay. Now, some of the people that you normally run with in game, I can't remember the lady's name that you play with, and the other gentleman that you play with, I can't remember his name either.
I've played with a few. I play with Blindside. I play with.
Okay, would be Blindside is the one I remember.
Densify is a subscriber as well as a subscriber to him. He's a cool guy.
Well, that's cool.
Highly entertaining and funny, but Blindside has been really busy lately. He actually called out work yesterday because his work was actually going to make him. If he was to work yesterday, he was going to pull in 80 hours for his week.
Gotcha. Well, so I'm just gonna go out and say it then. I noticed that you do play PUBG a lot, and I was figuring Blindside was probably one of the fellows that you were playing with all the time. It seemed like it. You guys were fairly active and seemed like a pretty decent team on PUBG. Another member on the MPXR-FAM, Green Bakers, he plays tons and tons and tons of PUBG. I can't remember. I think Prozac plays as well every once in a great while. It's kind of rare to see him playing anything outside of Pokemon. It is nice to see him playing other games, but I enjoy the Pokemon. What do you feel about playing with some of the members that you've played with? I know you've had a few games.
So that means I actually enjoy playing with a lot of people. The most entertaining person I have to say that I've actually been able to play with is probably Bob Britt and a few others, just because when they decide to get a little salty, it's funny seeing him rage. But I mean, I've enjoyed playing with a bunch of people. It doesn't matter who you are, whatnot. If you're having fun, I'm having fun.
Right.
And that's how I like it.
I agree. I think you do a fair job at that. I suppose I got to start wrapping things up here. We've been on for about that hour mark. I need to get going. I know we talked earlier outside of the stream here about where you're from, and you're out in Florida right now. And you talked about some of your stuff getting damaged and whatnot. Are things out that way?
Yes.
Doing all right?
Yeah. Where I am, for say, we got lucky.
Okay, good. Yeah, when you guys all talked about that, I think it was you, DJ, and Kiltron, and a few others.
Where Irma made landfall in Florida, they did not get out too well. She made landfall in the Keys, and the Keys actually took it the hardest.
Right. So yeah, the Keys in the Bahamas. Yeah. When it hit on land on Florida, though, where did it hit?
So she hit in the Keys, which is the very southern point of Florida. She hit in Cudjoe Key, which is a very small key, but she has a Cat 4, and that was the first Cat 4 that they had in a long time.
So are they still sending help out that way? What are they doing out there?
Yeah, it's gonna be a while until they rebuild. It's gonna be a while because they're still trying to do cleanup. There's buildings that are not standing anymore. That's
understood, but they're still on cleanup, so they've still got dozers and backhoes and all kinds of equipment running.
Yeah, residents from Marathon to Cudjoe are really not allowed in there. It's so damaged right now. The roads are completely debris up. So it's a lot of damage that they have to go through. I mean, it's just so much work, and it's going to be a while. And so there's a lot of displacement right now between people and whatnot. So it's understandable, and it's sad. But
that really
it's Mother
sucks.
Nature, and she has a wrath.
Well, I hope things go better for everybody out that way. I'll probably pick on, come ask you here in Discord every once in a while and just kind of check and see how things are going out that way. Yeah. Just kind of nice to know how everything's going, if everybody's getting better. But, Bebop, Brandon, and Jackwad. We're just getting ready to wrap up here, and he just hosted. Yeah. Thank you, Brandon. Dubs, I'm sure you've probably not met Bebop yet. He's the one I'm sure you've heard us discuss a couple of times here throughout the stream. He's another fellow streamer here on MPXR-FAM. He is everywhere on Twitch, everywhere on the net. Great player, great FPS gamer, worth following, absolutely. And Bebop, I would say the same versus Dubs. If you're looking for a fighter gamer, worth following. And anyone who's new in the chat, if you haven't seen Swift Nation, this is who we're currently interviewing. And he's also a family member of the MPXR-FAM. And he plays a lot of FPS games, but he's also a creative gamer. I would classify it as that, Minecraft. And Riley, we were talking about your wang hanging over Bebop's place in Minecraft. That was fucking great. So, Swift, if you wanted to say hello, you could say hello to Riley right now.
Hey, Riley, I killed someone with the name Moing in it.
That was great. Oh, man. Thanks, guys. I appreciate y'all getting along. It's fucking awesome. But right now, what we were doing, we were just kind of going over the last bits of things here in game with PUBG. We were kind of discussing some of the aspects that there's future talk about changes with. We talked about the changes with H1Z1, the Battle Royale that they're trying to implement with Fortnite, and the different types of mod packs that Swift likes to use in Minecraft. And it's been a pretty good conversation for the last hour and 10 minutes or so. But
it doesn't even feel like it's been that long.
No, it doesn't. It never does. I thought that might have been too long to go, and I'm kind of honestly thinking it might be too short. But I think it's a good time frame. But I do need to get going and get out to go to work and do a little bit of that old stuff.
Work
Yeah.
goals.
The good old
All right, man.
four-letter
Take
word.
it easy. It was a pleasure doing an interview with you. I look forward to more.
Well, thank you very much for joining, Swift. I appreciate having you here, man. It was really awesome having you in.
Man.
So I guess next Monday we'll have another interview. I'm not positive who it's going to be yet, but I've put a few askings out there on Discords and Twitter. So if anybody out there is looking for an interview at the moment, you know where to find me. And I thank everybody for coming out and all the follows and stuff like that, and for everybody following each other. It's just awesome to see great people doing awesome things for each other. It really fucking is. So anyway, till next Monday, everybody have a great word barf.